Shannon would have been the third one, even though she was number 5. But remember, they didn't believe number 1 and 2. In the middle of the night before she was to take her last finance exam at the end of her first year, this would have been May the 7th of 1998, she was home studying up to late at night. I had talked to her just a few hours ahead of time. My husband had been emailing her. Her last email was to me, "Mom, I can't wait to come over. We're going to have a big Mother's Day celebration on Sunday. We're going to have a big party. Got my last exam tonight. We're going to have such fun this summer. All the things we could do." And to her dad, she said, "Oh, we're going to publish this paper. Aren't we, Dad? We're going to write this paper." They would do all kinds of things. My husband had written about 10 books, and they were very, very much father and daughter side of the family. That was Daddy's girl, definitely. So in the middle of the night, he had found a way to come up the second floor apartment by shimmying up between the 2 old brownstone buildings and leaping over the patio, the back balcony. And while she was in the back of the apartment running the bath water, he was shimmying the lock and he broke in. Now when he did, she was obviously walking out of the bathroom when she hears something and she screams because if she's standing naked, how did you get in here? And of course the scream alerted the pre-med student across the hall, who was also a graduate student at the University of Pennsylvania, and he called 911 immediately. The police got there in very record time, less than 5 minutes, and they started asking all the students. They interviewed the student below her apartment, the one across the hall that made the 911 call. They walked around and they kept knocking the door. "Shannon, Shannon." Nobody answered. Not a sound. They went outside and shone a light to the balcony. The door was closed. There was no signs of forced entry. Her front door was totally locked in the double locks. And to get in the main door of the building, you have to do codes to get in there. It's very high security. Well, of course, there was no noise when he heard it because he had to strangle her when he heard the police at the door. He'd strangle her. Now, the FBI profile report said he never went in there that night to murder her. He was a serial rapist. That was never his intent. He wanted to get out of there and get safe. But when the police came, he had no way he was going to escape. So the police said, "Well, we don't hear anything. We have no basis to enter and take down this door." In less than 5 minutes, they left, and they said, "If you hear any more noise, call 911 again." The next day, my son was supposed to have lunch with his sister. He was heading up to go to a school in Massachusetts, which was his college, and there was a graduation for some of his class behind him. And he was going to stop and have, he wanted to stay overnight that night, but she said, "Oh, we're going to stay up all night studying. We want to have fun." No, just too stressed. "Come and have lunch with me after my exam." This would have been that Friday. He did. She wasn't there. Everybody was at the school. Her cubicle at Wharton was empty. Nobody had seen her at an exam. Nobody had seen her at the study group. Can you imagine? My son calls me. I'm at my office. The fear, the panic. Oh my God, what is going to happen? I knew. And I said, you have to go in and push all the buttons. Well, the guy across the hall made the 911, answers the door, comes running down and said, I did call the police, I called the police. He's so upset. He said, "Oh my God, where did she wasn't in class, she wasn't." So the 2 of them went up to the 2nd floor and took down the door. And there my son found his brutally raped, bloody apartment, his sister's body in the bed, and dead probably 12 hours. So of course the guy went across to his apartment, called 911 again. And my son faded. And then you get back home to the office. The worst thing that ever happened. You have to come up here and identify your body. Beginning of the rest of my life. Real beginning of the rest of my life. Guess who was the first? Now we're going to talk a little bit about the criminal justice system because I told you I had never had anything to do with criminal justice. My area of social work didn't really have much to do with it at all. And so we got called up there and we'd go to the police station and answer questions. My son had been ruled for 2 or 3 hours before we had been able to drive from our Washington house. Ruled, because he was the primary suspect. 87% of all murders are committed by someone you know. Someone that the victim knows. A neighbor, a friend, a relative. 87%. So the odds for the police were to suspect. He would ask, "Are you sure you didn't drive up here to your sister's apartment last night? You had all this anger. There's something between you and your past." He was ruled after going through that for 2 to 3 more hours. And then we went through the whole system of rule. And this is what the police had to do. Finally, they told us we could go identify the body and go home the next day for the funeral, for the amazing thing. And then started the whole thing, the criminal justice system. This is even more difficult to tell you about because I never knew some of these things that go on. You know, I lived not far from the Supreme Court. And you know across the top of that Supreme Court building what it says? Equal justice under law. And I'm going to tell you about a system that is applied in death penalty issues and cases, but also in a lot of other criminals. I'm just talking about the worst criminal case, that will issue ESP, right? They have a whole lot of problems. And I'm going to talk about briefly about 5 of the biggest areas where we got a lot of data. And I'm going to tell you, it's a wonderful